Alright, so what I've done is I've added my washers in. Now, this little tool was absolutely perfect. What's a little mention this is, this came with my 2K, with my LPM online order. All you do is I filled my little wizards up with glue, I put my washer in there, and this just allows me to manipulate it around and get it in the right place without using my fingers and getting stuck. So, that's super, super cool. Now we just got to decide on what to do with our bases. So let's pop this guy in there. So we've got like a fluoro yellow and a sparkle there. Let's have, should we go for a double red or should we go for a sparkle and a transparent? Let's go for a blue transparent. Maybe that's what this little tool is for. So we've got now our sparkle blue with our transparent red. What other colors have we got left here to use? I reckon we go with like a Romery Galatasaray sort of vibe there. Then we'll go with orange and blue. Yeah, let's go orange and blue. Why not? Bosh, he's in there. I'm pretty sure maybe that's what this is for. Allow you to add pressure around the edge. I don't know. I use my fingers. There we go. And we've got a lovely fluoro and grey. So they pop together really, really tight. So I don't think you're going to need to worry about gluing them. And the same with the CLR Dynamics. We're going to go with a pink and black in here. Let's just pop him in there like that. And we're going to go with a green and an orange. As I said, they fit together really, really tight. So that is our LPM online basis. So we've got the Storms over here, the iBase Storms, okay, and we've got the CLR Dynamics, and then here we've got the CLR Dynamic Plus, which is like the 3-part base and disc. Let's just quickly run over then and get our Zuego bases and discs all prepped up so you guys can see that too. Let's run that little jump cut, we'll get them in. Alright, so as you can see, we've jump cut our way and we've brought our Zuegos in. Let's just shift our LPM bases down there. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to vary these guys up. So I'm going to create a double stack in one of these. Let's have our blue base be our double stack. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to get some super glue in that original recess. I'm going to throw in one of these bad boys here, knock that down so it's nice and tight down there. And then all I'm going to do, because a double stack, because I'm going for it, I'm going to stick that on there and I'm going to get another little washer. And there we go. We are now, this little tool is really useful, by the way. Absolutely love it. So we've now got our blue base as a double stack. With the others, we're just going to go single stacks. And what I might even do is let's leave our red with no weight in it whatsoever. We'll single stack these others because I want to use one of these little washers in one of these big bases to see whether there's any sort of discernible difference. So glue into the recess there, nice and simple. Round there, then all we're going to do, we're just going to drop our washers down into the gaps. See, this is what happens. You usually use your finger. All you do, get the old tool, bosh. What tool this is? What is it? I wonder if it's got a name. If it's got a name and you know what it is, let me know in the comments, because I've got absolutely no idea. I'm just calling it the little tool. And again, this guy here, and again, as I said earlier on in the video, the navy is my biggest criticism at the moment of the Zuego range. So what we've got there then, we've got our 3 different weight options in our sort of heavyweight bowl style bases. We've got a double stack here, no weight, and then we've got 3 single stacks. Onto our flats then. Let's have our black. Okay, we'll have our black base here as our small weight. Let's give that one a go. This is where the tool's really going to come into its own, because it's going to allow me to pull it over centrally, hopefully, with all the glue sets. There we go. So there we've got our black flat there. And these others, just going to get some glue in there. These bigger washers should fit up lovely. So I've got some glue in there. Let's get these little beauties. These fit so well, by the way. Really pleasing. It's one of them little things, right? The fact they fit so perfectly is really, it's so satisfying that they just go, oh right, that's like literally a perfect fit, which I love. And I'm going to say it's definitely designed to be that way, but it's so cool that they fit so well. So there we have our single stack options in there, and obviously we don't have a flat with no weight in it whatsoever, but that's not a big issue. So there is our Zuego base selection. So we should go with a classic blue and white in one of them. Pop him down into there. Oh, we're having a little bit of an issue here with our double stack. Our disc does not want to sit down as nicely as I hoped. Let's go. I want to try and keep the navies and that to get away from each other. So let's have like a sky and navy on the flat. Okay, so straight off the bat, what I'm noticing with these, and it's all of them, is that little ridge actually is causing me a few more issues than I want it to. Let's have a white and a purple. That one's gone in nice. Let's have a... What should we put with our black over here? What have we got in the others? Should we have like a black and a blue maybe? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Again, yeah, like I'm saying, what I'm finding is they're not fitting together as nicely as I would like. So I'm going to have to play with these a little bit, I think. We'll have a green and a yellow. That looks pretty cool. But again, doesn't want to sit in there. That's a little bit disappointing, actually. I was really impressed with these. But I'm finding with a lot of these now, they're not quite sitting down right. Hello, I've got a purple here. What am I going to put with that? Black? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. We'll go purple and black. Red and green looks good together. Then we'll go sky blue navy. I've already got the reverse of that. What about claret and sky blue, and then a navy with there? So yeah, you'll see, like, look how many of these don't want to sit in. Don't want to sit in right. That's going to be very, very frustrating for me. I think what it needs is a little bit of plastic taken off. That's going to be really irritating to do that. So that is a little bit disappointing. I was not expecting that to be an issue. And the fact of the matter is, it's not an issue with all of them, but they just don't want to sit down flat. So that little ridge line on underneath the disc is actually a bit of a problem for me. That's a bit disappointing. This guy's gone in lovely. For some reason, this purple and black one, absolutely perfect. None of the others, with maybe the exception of this, the navy and the claret, none of the others have gone together as flat and as smooth as I'd like. So out of all the bases, out of the 10 that we had, only 2 have worked perfectly first time. I'm not going to totally destroy them because of that, but that is pretty irritating, because that's going to mean I need to modify the underside of the disc a little bit to get it to fit as I want, unless I'm just being an idiot. What if I turn it? Does it matter if I twist it at all? No, because originally I thought it was the double stack. I thought the double stack was what was causing the issue, but it's not, because the double stack itself does not come up any higher than the ridge line for where the base and the disc sits, but I cannot get it to sit flush. That is really irritating. So we're gonna have to play with it. Nothing we can do about it right now. We've got a couple, one of each we've got set up, so I'm going to move these guys out of the way because I need to really work on them before we do our Zuego individual episode. So we've got some examples here of our LPMs, professional bases. Have to say, these guys slotted together so well. Perfectly designed and made for each other. Even the dynamic with the 3 different parts, you'd think there'd be a lot more issues because they're in there. Just really quickly, the difference between this disc and this one is there seems to be a little bit more plastic just taken away there. These are really solid, flat all the way across. These ice storms have like a little bit extra just taken off there. Not sure what the difference is, what that really does, but that's the difference I've seen in between the 2 discs. But yeah, really impressed with the little plastic men guys there. They've gone together really nicely. I've been able to get all my weights where I need to get them. These Zuegos, when they work, they look amazing. This purple and black one looks superb. Absolutely love it. But for some reason, the other 8 didn't want to go together that well. We've already got our super footy guys set up in their bases here. So what we need to do very quickly is just get some Santiagos in here. We're just going to do a quick jump cut. We'll get them guys in. Okay then, right in front of you right now, you are seeing something a little bit different. I mentioned this earlier in the video. These are Santiago Spitfire bases. These are pretty much what you would expect to see from the Hasbro generation of Subbuteo. They are a one-piece base. The triangle peg fitting, exactly the same as how the Hasbros used to do it. And then we've got our two-part bases at the back here. In terms of going together, I never have hardly any issues with Santiago bases and discs going together. As you can see, these guys are all fitted in there nice and flat. I'm not going to glue these because these are for another project. So all I'm going to do is just get a different figure type in them all so you can see them, how they look. Let's get a vintage in there and we'll go with the classic original heavyweight style figure there. So in terms of putting these guys together, easy. They slot together. You don't have to worry about the weight. The weight is already in there. They slot into each other. They 99,000 times out of 100,000, these guys will go together perfectly. The only issue I ever have is that sometimes there's a little bit of extra plastic, usually on one of these two edges, and a simple quick swipe with the knife will just get rid of that little bit of plastic and they go together perfectly. So we've got some spare other figures and bases here, but I'm not going to use them for the rest of this video. So that is the classic Santiago's. As I say, you've seen most of these. I'm just going to move these out the way here. But what we're now going to do is we're going to divvy up, because what we can do is between our bases and our discs, we can interchange our figures and our bases. So that guy's just come out of there. That's a bit disappointing. So I'm really having a few issues with the Zuego. It's upsetting me a little bit. One of my ones that went to go perfectly now isn't. So there's one there. Let's get our navy and our claret together there. So we've got our Zuegos all set up over there now too. So now we've got a lot of different figures to put in. Now 2K4s, standard Super Footy 2K4s will fit into the Spitfire base, I believe, but it might be a little bit of a tight fit, but they do go in. They just need a little bit of work. But what we've got is the option, because they're peg fitting, to put in a load of different ones. So here we have an AL1 Walker figure in a Santiago Spitfire base. Classic. This is where the compatibility issues come around. Or the compatibility issue, it's not even an issue, what's the word I'm looking for? The compatibility freedom of the peg fitting is amazing, because there's so many different things you can do with it. So let's just find, here we go, an AL1 lightweight is going to go in there. Bosh, we've got an AL1 lightweight in an LPM base, and then we've got a Walker on a Santiago all-in-one Spitfire base. Then we can go heavyweight hybrid, let's bash him into this all sky blue base here. Happy days. Perfect. They fit so well. They're interchangeable. The options that you get are brilliant. Super Footies will work in either as well, but they don't fit into the CLRs. The peg fitting on a Super Footy is slightly wider, and because they're a nice flat finish, these guys, the Super Footies, do not go into the LPM professionals without, you can do it, but you will have to shape and manipulate that base a little bit. I'm not going to do it in this. I just want to show you how easy these things click together without that happening. So what else have we got here? We've got an AL1 bald fella. Let's put him in there. When I put them together, I give them like a little twist. I do need to get them in there nice and tight, because as you can see, they're not quite tight in there yet. Neither is this guy, but I don't want to over pressure it on camera and smash one up, because I look like an absolute idiot. So I don't want to do that. But you can see they go together. They will probably need a little bit of fettling as well, which again, because I think actually I'm almost at the bottom of that base and I'm nowhere near in. So that again, a first little disappointment there for the for those guys. I'm going to put, actually let's put a modern figure in this base. Let's go with, where's a normal AL1? Let's have a normal AL1 in there. Everything's gone together so well early on, but I think I'm actually hitting the bottom of the base there because my peg itself is too long, which is a little bit annoying. Because if I'm a painter and I'm painting a lot of these, I don't want to keep doing that. So that is a little bit of a negative against the LPMs. That's the first one. I've been so impressed with them. I love the detailing. I love the colour as well. Look at the colour of the plastic differences between the 2Ks or the Super Footies and the LPM ones. It's a really, really nice bright white. There's a little bit of translucence in the Super Footies. Let's have, what have we not got in any of these bases yet? I'll just fill them all up. Let's just fill them all up. I have to say, the Santiago Spitfire is just accepting everything, and it's going, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, put that in. With absolutely no fuss whatsoever. Let's try it on a Super Footy. Oh, the Super Footies are tight, but possible. So there you go. Super Footy one in there. So they're going really well. The Santiago Spitfire, so performing admirably, to be fair. I've never used them before. I really want these things to work better, but they just sort of sit out of each other a little bit. I'm not, that's frustrating. So that's going to mean I need to make some cuts, some shaving, some fettling. See what I mean? Because I'm in there, I'm hitting the bottom. That is a little bit irritating that I have to do that as a thing. That's something that needs to happen. So where are we now? We got 5 more bases. We've got a load of different figures to use. Have we got examples of everyone used though? I think we do. Let's have another AL1 lightweight then. In the orange. In there. Working absolutely almost flawless. Some of them are really tight, but that's not a massive issue. What should we have in there? Should we have an AL1 Walker in there? But he's going to need shaving down probably. Yeah, he does. And finally, let's have a bald AL1 geezer in there. So now we have all of our figures and bases that we've shown in this video all inside something. As I said, we've had our problems and our issues. The Zuego discs don't fit that great into their bases, which is very, very frustrating. They look so good as well. I love how they look when they're actually done. This guy looks fantastic. These guys look like duck bases. They're like a wider base. If I can just, I tell you what, I'll grab a Santiago quickly and I'll show you. Here, if I put that one down on top of it, you can see that that blue base is wider than the Santiago. So that's really cool. I love the duck bases. That would be a massive, massive positive. But they just don't sit in there right, which is a bit frustrating. Oh, I tell you what, I've got an idea. What if, can you get a Santiago disc in a Zuego base? You can, but you end up with a gap there, so they're not interchangeable. So that's something I wanted to try out, so we've done that. But yeah, so a little bit frustrated with the Zuego bases. I'm going to make them work. I will mess around with them and I will make them fit, and I will probably do that in a separate Zuego video because I want to show how to do it. I don't just want to do it and then it just be done. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you as well how to get the LPMs to fit. That was a first disappointment from me as well on them, because I was really, really impressed with their LPMs and how well their bases and their discs went together. But when you go to put the figures in, they hit the bottom. You have to fettle them a little bit, and that's, for me, I do see that as a negative. But they do have they have some unbelievable figure designs, and their base and disc colours are phenomenal. Super Footies, as expected, they go together really, really nicely. Definitely wasn't expecting anything less. I've used Super Footies before and I've had that experience with them, that they are absolutely great. Be interesting to see what we do with these guys. Remember, down in the comments, do you want me to try and actually paint a kit onto these already coloured figures? Obviously, I'm going to paint a white figure. The Zuego flat bases, again, they look really, really good. They stand at a really, really wide stance. I think they'll be good, but again, there's just that frustration with them going together, but they're pretty cool. The figures I like, but again, as I said before, I just think their heads look a little bit too big. The classic Santiagos, I've used these and I know these like the back of my hand, so I knew they were going to work. Again, I'm looking forward to showing you guys how to paint the different figures and what happens when you paint onto flesh plastic. But I tell you what, I have been massively surprised by, and it was something, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by it, but I'd never ever used them before, and it's these guys, these Spitfire bases. All in ones. Again, as I said, a replica, I believe, of the Subbuteo Hasbro single piece. But look at all the different figure types that we've got in there. We've got our Super Footy, who needs a little bit of pushing down. He's just super tight because the peg, as I said, on a Super Footy is wider than that of these LPM figures. But look at them. Most of them have sat right down in there with no issues, no fettling, perfectly flush. There's a couple that need a little bit of work, and that was to be expected. They're not designed for these things, but they've just taken them so well. So I'm really impressed with those. I'm going to leave this video here. I am going to show how they all play together. I am going to show how the different weights in the Zuego bases affect how they strike a ball, how they feel. But I just want to end this video here because I feel like it's gone on now for probably long enough. We've seen all the figures and the bases and the discs, and I just feel like let's leave it here with these guys as they are. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please smash that like button, subscribe. If you have any questions or anything you're not sure about, or do you know what, if you've got experience with these guys and you've got advice for me about how to do this, please let me know down in the comments, because I would love to know before I just try and do it myself. But yeah, a little bit frustrating. And again, with the Zuegos, if you've got any ideas how to make them Zuegos work without fighting them, that would be great too. So there'll be a subscribe button in the middle, please smash that. There'll be a playlist on the right, and on the left hand side we will have our YouTube recommended video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, stay safe.